We're live.
Just put the SportsBeat Extra thing up first.
Aha. I'm saying something. I'm saying it. You like how I say it?
I need my cable to plug my computer in. No, I turned it all off. Ryan Johnson, can I get the cable for my phone? Yeah, I don't think we're going to need it. My cable for my computer sitting right there. AC. This. Can we plug in right there? Is there another plug? We got a whole power strip right here.
You're a funny guy.
Where do you want it? Thank you.
You're a funny guy. He's a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Periwinkle. Periwinkle. Oh, periwinkle. If I would have known Periwinkle wouldn't have been here, I would have gave somebody a call.
Yeah. I would have too.
Oh, you didn't know either?
No. Okay, no. You turned us down. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep turning us down.
Yeah, don't change it because we already did the levels on there. It's low for you. You can turn your volume up. Oh, no, I can't.
Yeah, you're fine.
Which camera are you starting on? You open.
Huh?
You can open.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to another episode of SportsBeat Extra. I'm Brad Stein, and to my left is PJ Miller, the one and only. We are broadcasting live from Spirit of 77. A lot of noise in here, PJ, a lot of excitement, Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd in the background every time. It sounds like they're all Tampa Bay fans because every time Tampa Bay scores, you get a loud cheer.
Yeah,
so.
3-0, so unfortunately for Cleveland fans, not looking so good. I think we're going in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, close one.
So. Yeah, so we got a lot going on today. We're going to have the top 5 stories coming up, PJ. We'll also have Ben Golliver, Portland Trailblazers sports reporter. He'll be here. He's going to we're going to give a little phone call to him. We're going to talk about the Blazers' upcoming season. We have NFL hot talk, college football hot talk. How about those Ducks? How about the Beavers? Who should be the Heisman Trophy frontrunner? We're going to discuss all that and much, much more right here on Portland Sports Beat. So how are the beers here? Haven't had a chance to taste them yet.
I've been working too hard. I haven't been able to get a drink either. So.
Okay.
But I've been here before. Me and Ryan, the co-producer for the show, we've been here a couple of times, and they have a great selection of beers out here. A lot of like micro brews, a lot of local libations out here. So some really good food as well. They have some different kind of food too. So it's
what do they have?
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, we got a menu. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So.
All right, we're in the busiest time of the year for sports. Busiest for you, busy for me.
Yeah.
If you're a sports fan, you talk about sports, you cover it. Busiest time. NHL season just got started. College football is revved up. NFL is getting there. And Major League Baseball, this is the best time of the year. If you're just one of those closet baseball fans and you kind of like it, October baseball doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, especially with these one-game playoffs. I mean,
love it.
Yeah, there's so
Love
much
it.
excitement for these teams. You get the play-in games to see who actually made it into the wild card play-in game. So there's a lot of baseball going on, and every
great.
game means something. And for the last couple of weeks, it's been that way because all these teams, like Texas and all these teams have been playing in to try to make it to the playoffs, and so they've all been like kind of a do-or-die situation for about the last week or so.
Yeah, it's one of the best things that Major League Baseball has done in a long time by implementing this new rule.
Yeah, because when it used to be just the league division winners, those you had like the Braves, and they were out in front, and it wasn't even a competition.
It didn't give anyone else a chance.
Yeah.
That's what baseball needed, something new, excitement, and we got that now.
Yeah.
And we're hearing it.
So do you think that and I'm sure we'll probably get this later, the single game plan, do you think that that's right?
Yeah, I do. What about you?
Baseball's always been about series, but when you're playing it, if you want to skip that, win your division so that you don't have to worry about it.
I'm all for it because it's because the excitement level.
Yeah.
We don't have to sit through a grueling 7-game series. Well, it's not that it's grueling, but it's time consuming. One game, everything. It just means much more. And did you see the Pittsburgh game last night?
I didn't. I actually I work early in the morning, so I didn't get to quite catch it all.
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, they were crazy. Over 40,000 people waving their flags. Go Pittsburgh! The Pirates, the Skulls. They were excited.
Yeah.
So
I listened to a lot of highlights from the game, and it seemed very, very good. I watched it on the ESPN and everything. So
really was
21
years.
Yeah.
21 years.
Think about Pittsburgh. That's it's like Cleveland football.
Right.
I mean, or the Clippers, how the Clippers used to be. It's just one of those franchises that really hasn't had any success, and now they finally get some, and all the people there are just so happy.
Yeah, and we'll see how far they can go. Might be pretty far. We're going to get to that. So we'll start with the top 5 stories of the day, starting with number 5, and we'll count down all the way to number 1, PJ Miller. Number 5, Michael Jordan said he could beat LeBron James one-on-one in his prime, but probably not Kobe Bryant.
This is ridiculous to me.
It's crazy.
It's really weird because, if I was to compare a modern player to Michael Jordan, it would be Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. And so I would think he would have a better shot against Kobe Bryant. When you look at LeBron James, he is so much bigger, can defend so much more physical, and he's as quick as Jordan was. So I really don't think – I think that LeBron would have a better chance against Jordan than Kobe would.
I think LeBron can beat him because of, like you said, that physicality, that size. He would do a pretty good job defending Jordan. I don't think Jordan can defend him.
No.
And now he added the post game. All he has to do is back him down.
Yeah, exactly. He's just way too strong.
Do you think
for
he
Jordan.
said that maybe because he's starting to fear LeBron's getting close to that 6 rings and he's more of a threat than Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, I mean, Kobe's only one away. I mean,
one away, but he knows Kobe's not going to get that next one.
He could,
look at the Lakers.
I mean, if the Lakers in 2 years,
he could.
Yeah,
2 years
when you have Paul Gasol coming off, you have Nash coming off, and you have Kobe coming. If he decides to swallow the pill and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a little bit less money," which he said he won't do at this point.
But who are they going to bring in? LeBron's not going there. Why would LeBron get him another ring?
There's going to be some free agents.
Carmelo.
Yeah,
Carmelo's really going to help him get another ring. Mr. Me. They're both going to be chucking up 40 times each.
You also got to think, what happens if they just have a complete slide this year and end up with a top 2 pick?
Okay, then you never know.
There's a lot of good players.
There's a chance, but there's also a lot of good teams in the Western Conference.
There are.
There are a lot of teams that have been building, especially the one right here at the Rose City.
Yeah, Spirit of 77.
That's right.
It's been a long time since Portland has had a championship team. So, that's what when we talked to the owner about coming out here, one of the things that he really liked was the the atmosphere of Portland and just how much the Blazers mean to this community, and just how the town just shut down for the parade in '77 after they won the championship. So that's why they named the bar after it, obviously, for the
spirit of '77,
the spirit of the championship, and just kind of the atmosphere and
look at the
love.
atmosphere right there. Basketball hoops.
Yeah,
we're going to take some shots later.
Yeah,
you and me.
We got some skee ball over there too.
Oh, I didn't see the skee ball.
Yeah, skee ball's on the far wall. So
all right, I was pretty good at that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to number 4. Arena League football is coming back to Portland, so maybe they could change the name or add something to it. What do you think? Will it work here in Portland, because it didn't work before?
I think it can work. I am not necessarily a big fan. I love football. It is, my favorite sport. But I've been, like, when there was the Forest Dragons were here, and I've watched it on ESPN. It's not really football to me. It's very different. To me, it would be like basketball, like having a 3-on-3 league. It's just not the same.
But can it work, though?
I think it can work. I think that enough people would be interested in it. It's very the pace is very high, and I think that people would enjoy going out to it.
Yeah, because you don't need 30,000, 40,000 people there.
No.
You just need, what, 15?
Yeah.
12 to 15.
Yeah.
And if Orlando has an arena football league team, why can't Portland?
Yeah, they're going to block off the whole 300 level. If they can do as good as the Winterhawks do, then they should be fine.
Yeah, and the Winterhawks put in between 8 and 15.
Yeah. So
I've been to a game where they had 5.
Yeah, and what is it? 9 games a year?
It's 9 games a year, and it starts in March.
Yeah. So you're not competing with anything, because that's really the dead point of the Blazers are going to be done. The NBA is going to be done. All you're really competing against is baseball.
Exactly.
So,
and baseball's not big here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, in Seattle, but not here in Portland.
Yeah.
So I say, it works. So give me a name. What should be the team name?
I've been hearing that it's really the platypus has been going around.
I don't like that.
Yeah. The Forest Dragons. I never really liked that.
The Forest Dragons.
It didn't really fit.
What about the Tree Huggers?
No, that's horrible.
That's my name.
I did like the Lumberjacks when the lacrosse team was here. That was a good name. Yeah, that was a good name.
That's a good name.
I think.
But does Portland want that image now?
Yeah, they don't. They're not going to use it now.
So why not use the Tree Huggers?
Yeah.
How about Sasquatches?
No, because that's Seattle. They already got the mascot on.
Well, the mascot, but they don't have the name Sasquatches.
Yeah.
Let's use it.
I don't know.
No?
No, I don't like that one either.
I would say Portland Pilots, but that was used too.
Yeah. Yeah, what do we – the salmon? Or the Chinook?
I was thinking that. The Chinooks or sockeye salmons.
But Emmert, who is the owner of the team, he has it's the ABL, the American Basketball League, or IBL, the International Basketball League, and they're the Chinooks. So that's the team that he owns.
Okay.
Yeah, the Portland Chinooks.
So they can double up.
Yeah, they can double up. He owns the team.
It's the least of my concern.
Yeah.
What about Darren Thomas, possibilities of him being the quarterback? Would you like that?
Well, but if you also hear, Damian Lillard's brother is a quarterback in the Arena Football League. So
bring them both in.
He said that he may want to come over here and play in the on the Portland team. So
interesting.
Might have some competition for Darren. But they did say that they would like to have all Portland State, Oregon State, just local guys.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a great idea, because you're going to get a lot of draw.
A lot of talent.
We did some stuff with the Bolts earlier in the year, and there was a lot of guys from Portland State, a couple from Oregon. So there's a draw for local guys.
And Southern Oregon, we had a lot of guys from
Southern Oregon. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who grew up watching the Ducks. And, with how good they are, that could be a draw for local people in the area.
Absolutely. It's a great idea. And that's what it's all about, selling tickets, selling merchandise, right? All about revenue?
Yeah.
I think the product will be pretty good. I saw one arena game in Las Vegas. It was different, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Football is football. It's different, but it's still football, kind of. Kind of. Kurt Warner was pretty good at it. All right, so we'll go with number 3. Any possibilities that Mike Riley becomes the next USC head coach? Because the rumors are swirling.
No, absolutely no possibility. He would be a fool to do that again after leaving to go to San Diego and it just bombing while he was there. When he came back to Oregon State, he knew what a good thing he has there.
Right.
He gets to stay there as long as he wants to.
And he committed, 100%.
Yeah.
He committed to Oregon State. He said he wants to retire here in Corvallis. I really don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to number 2. Will LaMarcus Aldridge be a Blazer long term?
We're going to be talking to Ben Golliver a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting things happened at the media day, and so I think long term LaMarcus Aldridge, if they could continue to do what they're doing right now, then and continue to grow. And I think O'Shea is doing a good job of building this team so that they have flexibility and they still have assets. So I think long-term, barring an injury, LaMarcus will be here long-term.
I say it's all predicated on this year's success. If they don't make the playoffs, I think Lamar is going to want to leave, LaMarcus. But if they're winning, if they're doing well, I can see him staying, absolutely.
Yep.
Because they made a commitment. Neil O'Shea made a commitment about reloading and not rebuilding. So, all right, we're going to take a break, and we'll get to the number one top segment and the National Football League. That's coming up next. This is Portland SportsBeat Extra. We are live from Spirit of 77.
That looks good right there. Why do I like working on SportsBeat? Because most of the high school athletes we work with don't have quite the ego that some of the professional athletes have.
Keon, thanks for coming on SportsBeat.
Yeah, thanks. I'm humbled to be here.
And cut. Hey, good luck to you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Kenyon, here are your blue M&Ms.
I said Jesuit colors only. Green. Get that Laker blue crap out of here. And it's Keon.
That looks good right there.
Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides loving care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It also offers after-school care for children through 5th grade. At Valley Catholic Early Learning School, we believe that children learn best by doing. We focus on the child's total development. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Learning that meets the unique needs of each child. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic, home to exceptional academic programs, serving students in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, award-winning faculty, championship athletics, a renowned music school, drama and art, faith-based education on a beautiful 43-acre campus in the heart of Beaverton. Learn more at valleycatholic.org. Academics, arts, athletics, excellence. Valley Catholic. Celebrating 50 years of exceptional health care, Maryville provides skilled nursing care, inpatient rehabilitation, and memory care. We provide a warm living environment and stimulating social activities for our residents. Learn more at maryvillenh.org. At Maryville, your family is our family. Maryville, celebrating its 50th anniversary of service with love. Valley Catholic High School will host its 2013 open house on Sunday, October 13th from 1 to 4. Valley Catholic, the 2012 and 2013 winner of the Oregonian Cup, Oregon's top 3A school in academics, activities, athletics, and sportsmanship. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Educational excellence that honors the unique gifts of each student. That's Valiant.
Welcome back to Portland SportsBeat Extra. We are live at Spirit of 77. I'm Brad Stein. I'm joined with PJ Miller.
All right.
Sports busiest time of year.
It's we had some people playing basketball during the break here. I think we're going to have to go for a high score. We're going to have a competition.
We're going to have a competition.
I'm going to smoke you, just so you know.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I'll beat you left-handed.
Sure you will. Sure you will. You're probably a lefty. He's a
No.
lefty. Yeah, he's a cheater. All right, we left off with the number one top story, so we're going to get to that. Then we got NFL coming up. Peyton Manning, his great performance, 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's coming up in 1 minute. World Series likely matchup right now. We were going to talk about this game, but Tampa Bay still up 3-0. So who do you think is going to be in the World Series?
In the World Series?
Yeah.
My team's the Braves.
Oh,
so
God.
it's hard for me to go against them right now with the way they look. They have been a little bit shaky coming into the playoffs here, but I'm going to stick
That
with
means a lot.
them. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the Braves.
Okay, and what about in the American League?
in the American League. I'm going to take maybe one of these teams that's going to kind of squeak in. I'll go with Tampa Bay.
Tampa
They
Bay's
got
a good choice.
I think they got some good pitching. So
They do.
they're getting hot at the right time. So I think Tampa Bay could be one of those teams that it seems like there's always one of those teams that's a wild card team that makes it to the World
That's
Series.
what it seems like.
So.
The team with the best record is not guaranteed anything. I think they lose like 75% of the time. I'm taking St. Louis. I like experience. They have timely hitting, timely pitching. The one downfall is the bullpen, though. That could be a major problem. But they're starting pitching, best ERA in the National League, and most wins, great hitting. I think they have the highest batting average in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. So I like St. Louis in the National League. In the American League, I will go with the Detroit Lions. I was thinking Oakland, but then I went with that philosophy. Oakland just – they're too good. They have the best record. So let's go with Detroit. Again, they were representing the American League last year. You have Sanchez and Scherzer. You have tons of hitting. I just don't trust Oakland's pitching because their best pitcher is Bartolo Colon. He's 40 years old, and he's pitched the most innings right now, I think, in the last 7 years of his career. He's like over 190. So I'm going to stick with Detroit and St. Louis. I think we'll go with two teams that are very experienced and pretty balanced. Not great bullpens, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this year is going to be like you said, a very interesting year. So it'll be good to kind of see kind of how it shakes out because like we just keep talking about, there's always going to be a surprise. So baseball, football is great because there's a lot of parity throughohout the year. You get a team like Kansas City. Yeah, but I think baseball is very different in that, there's just one of these teams that just gets hot right at the right time and comes all the way through.
It's really changed baseball a lot, too, for the better with having this one-game playoff system, the wild card. I like that. And, I think it's great. I hope it really draws great viewership just because the Yankees aren't in it and a couple other the Mets aren't in it. So you have no New York teams, but you do have the Dodgers, no Chicago teams. So I hope they do all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will. All right, we're getting to the National Football League, the NFL. That's what everyone likes to talk. That's what pushes the conversation. All right, let's talk about reactions. Everyone has a reaction. In Houston, they had a rough outing against the Seattle Seahawks. We know what happened with 2:51 left. So Houston, they have a restaurant, and they're serving the Matt Schaub special. Basically, it's pick 6 toppings for your burger and pay dearly for it. What do you think about that?
After watching that Oregon State game and, thinking a pick 6 couldn't get any worse than that.
Yeah.
And then you watch that Houston-Seattle game, and Matt Schaub, what are you thinking?
God.
If you feel bad for the guy because he was already getting it. For the last couple of years, how he's not been able to, win the big game.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting that Tony Romo where he does pretty good during the regular season, but he just chokes at the wrong time.
I never liked the guy. He's a statistic quarterback.
Yeah.
He throws up good numbers in regular season. This guy will never, ever win a Super Bowl. And I said it so many times. He's awful in pivotal moments, fourth quarter, overtime, that last 2-minute drive when you need him. How can you throw? That was the most ridiculous, stupidest pass I've ever seen. Totally uncalled for.
Yeah.
My wife even said, don't throw it to Sherman. What is he doing? I said, come on, we're rooting for the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when it happened. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And, I was sitting, I think I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm sitting there, and, it was just kind of on in the background. People weren't like it wasn't like when it happened, it wasn't just like one of those things where everyone was like, it was, I just go, oh my gosh. And then everyone kind of realized what it was happening.
You just thought they were done. 2:51 left. Oh my God, terrible. All right, Terrell Suggs. He said that Roger Goodell's behind the Super Bowl blackout. Are you buying this? Is there a conspiracy theory?
No. Everyone has a conspiracy theory about everything.
He won. Why is he crying?
I don't know.
He won the Super Bowl. Why is he crying? And then he's talking about in the AFC Championship game that Roger Goodell was talking to the owner of the Denver Broncos. Why? You won that game. You won it in double overtime.
They were planning against him, I guess is what he's thinking, that they overcame the odds of Goodell.
Oh, my God. No conspiracy. Look, the ratings were down after the blackout. There's a lot of people, novice football fans, who don't really care about the game. When it shut down, a lot of people, the viewership diminished. So I don't think Roger Goodell is behind that.
That's their revenue.
Yeah,
what their ratings are.
Exactly.
So, with contracts coming up and all that, there's no way that they're going to do anything that's going to hurt their ratings.
No, I don't think he would jeopardize something like that. That's pretty. Do you think there's any kind of punishment coming for Terrell Suggs to make a statement like this?
I mean, there could be a small one. I really don't think there should be.
Just let it go if
Yeah,
you're Roger
just let
Goodell.
it go. It's almost like
They already hate him anyways.
it's almost like justifying it or making it so it's like a valid point
Yeah,
if they
it's-
do anything about it. Just
it's
ignore
just
it, let it go
chatter.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, let it go away. It will go away. I believe if Roger Goodell was going to do something, he would have already done it.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll move on. Good idea or bad idea for the NFL to expand to 14 playoff teams? I think it's horrible. I don't like unqualified teams. I love more football. I love more playoff football, but that extra playoff game could be an absolute blowout, PJ. It could be a number 2 seeded team playing a number 7 team. Last year, Pittsburgh would have been in 8-8. Do you want to see an 8-8 team and the regular season to lose a little credibility there? Because that's what I think what's going to happen.
The only thing I would say is that, we just got done talking about baseball and how they expanded theirs.
Yeah.
And, you look at Seattle
But
a couple
football's
of years
different
ago.
than baseball. Football is a different game than baseball. Why fix something that's not broken?
Well, just because it's so popular. That's the reason.
Right.
The only reason why you wouldn't do it.
So you put another team in there, and that can be like a 28-0 ball game, and you're going to be satisfied with that?
But look at how Seattle. Everyone
about
thought Seattle was going to get killed when they were at
7-9,
500.
yeah.
9-7 or whatever they
7
were.
and 9.
7 and 9.
Yeah, you're talking about a few years ago, right?
Yeah, and they came in
Right.
and they beat.
They did, and
yeah.
it will happen occasionally.
Yeah.
But does Pittsburgh really deserve 8-8? So that means you're throwing away the validity of the regular season. You're saying a team can come in here, like the Giants, they can start 0-4, but as long as they finish around 8-8, they have a chance to play in the postseason.
Well, I mean, they
I don't
already
like
do right now. I mean, do you think the NFC East is going to be much better than 8-8
No,
this year?
but that's one team, but now you might have 2 of those. What if you have another team?
I don't know that you're going to get that.
Well, you could.
You could,
You could,
but
because
you
there's
could-
going to be
you could
7
always-
teams.
yeah, you
and
could-
the parity. We talked about parity.
Yeah.
You could have 3 teams that are around 8-8, 9, and 7.
It
I
just
just think it
creates
takes away
more-
from the regular season. I know it creates more games and
More
more
excitement.
excitement for that team that can run the table.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Giants ran the table a few years ago,
Yeah.
being the number 6 seed. So I understand. But 7, I don't know, 8-8, I think we're pushing it there.
Yeah, I think that maybe there should be a
disagree.
rule you have to be over 500, just like in bowl games.
All right. That I can live with. All right, so Peyton Manning has another great performance. 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The guy, yes, he's ridiculous. What does Peyton Manning's performance really mean?
It means that right now he is a hot quarterback. Again, same thing goes back to Peyton Manning. He has 1 Super Bowl right now. And, what is he going to be able to do at the end of the season? He's getting up there in age. He's been injured. Right now he looks really, really good, but all it takes is one hit to derail that team. They lost their left tackle. They're going to defensively, they're going to get better with Champ Bailey coming back.
And Von Miller.
And Von Miller. So, they're going to be better defensively. But, they got to be cautious. I don't know that they're going to play him deep into games, especially if they're blowing people out like this.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, so they don't need to. So, they got to keep him healthy because that's the most important thing.
And rested.
Yeah. Because the end of the year, like we said,
Cold
he's getting
weather.
older. He's getting older.
He is.
So.
He's going to be turning 38 years old. It's going to be getting colder. And I think this is great. I'm not taking away Peyton Manning's performance, but everything is predicated on his playoff postseason performance. Exactly. It is. Like you said, 1 Super Bowl. Everyone wants to talk about this guy being the greatest quarterback ever. He's got to put up in the postseason 9-11. That's his career playoff record.
Yep.
It's not very good.
Yep.
Not all his fault, but it's still not good. He needs to perform in the postseason. And I think we tend to say, okay, it's everything that Peyton Manning's going to do. I think a lot of it's going to be on the defense, most of it. When Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl back in 2008 with the New Orleans Saints, or 2007, the defense came through. The defense was great in the postseason. Manning stunk in the playoffs. He was good in the Super Bowl, but he still only had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's not that great. It was the defense forcing turnovers and having a ferocious pass rush.
Dwight Freeney and all
Absolutely.
those guys.
And Bob Sanders.
Yeah, they had a great defense. And I think this defense probably has a chance to be a better defense.
It does.
So it
does.
He has a defense that can carry a team.
And that's what they're going to need in the postseason.
He just needs to not make the big mistake in the playoffs.
That's why they need the defense.
Yeah, not be Brett Favre. Don't make those big mistakes in the playoffs. Just play. I mean, the thing that he does best is
he's already made a lot of mistakes in the playoffs.
Yeah, manage the game when he gets to the playoffs. He's an offensive coordinator on the field. He can call the plays that he wants to. He can control the game. Just don't make the big mistake.
And I don't think he will this year for some reason. All right, let's rank in order. Who deserves the most credit for Seattle's win? We got to get back to Seattle's win. It was incredible. All right, we have Matt Schaub, Seahawks, and Kubiak. Rank in order who deserves the most credit. Kubiak, Seahawks, Schaub.
Who deserves the most credit?
Yes. And then who's second and third?
I would guess it would have to be Schaub because he just made the bonehead mistake.
Okay.
And then I would say the Seahawks and then Kubiak. That was a stupid call, too. I mean,
it was a stupid call. That's why I'm saying Seattle, because they still pulled it off. Richard Sherman still made the play, and the defense shut him out in the second half. I think in the last 3 quarters, they didn't score 1 point on Seattle's defense.
Yeah.
So I'll give most of the credit to Seattle. But Kubiak, I think, deserves more credit for calling a stupid play. It was 3rd and 4, and you have Arian Foster.
Yep.
Is he not one of the best running backs in the league?
Even
if he doesn't get it, though, you're keeping the clock moving.
Yes.
You're going to get close to the 2-minute warning. Why do that? Put trust in your defense.
He was trusting his veteran quarterback is what he was doing,
I know
and he got blindsided.
I know what he was doing. Big mistake.
And it was a mistake.
And it was a horrible pass.
And he needs to
more credit to Kubiak.
He needs to learn now that you can't trust Matt Schaub in those situations.
You have a great running game and a great defense. Don't trust Matt Schaub.
If that's a play like this happens again, then Kubiak deserves all of the blame. It's like burn me once, shame on me, and burn me twice. Yeah.
Shame on you. Yeah, I got it. Okay. All right. So if we have a little bit more time, we will do one more topic.
Let's take a quick break. We got
can we
Ben Golliver.
Can we do the 2-minute warning, Chipster style, real quick?
We'll do that after we do Ben Golliver.
2-minute warning coming up, and Ben Golliver.
Ben Golliver will be up next. We're going to get him on the line. We'll talk some Blazers, and then we'll come back and talk some NFL after that.
We're live from Spirit 77. This is Portland SportsBeat Extra.
Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides loving care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It also offers after-school care for children through 5th grade. At Valley Catholic Early Learning School, we believe that children learn best by doing. We focus on the child's total development. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Learning that meets the unique needs of each child. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides loving care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It also offers after-school care for children through 5th grade. At Valley Catholic Early Learning School, we believe that children learn best by doing. We focus on the child's total development. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Learning that meets the unique needs of each child. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic Early Learning. Valley Catholic, home to exceptional academic programs, serving students in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, award-winning faculty, championship athletics, a renowned music school, drama and art, faith-based education on a beautiful 43-acre campus in the heart of Beaverton. Learn more at valleycatholic.org. Academics, arts, athletics, excellence. Valley Catholic. Celebrating 50 years of exceptional health care, Maryville provides skilled nursing care, inpatient rehabilitation, and memory care. We provide a warm living environment and stimulating social activities for our residents. Learn more at maryvillenh.org. At Maryville, your family is our family. Maryville, celebrating its 50th anniversary of service with love. Valley Catholic High School will host its 2013 open house on Sunday, October 13th from 1 to 4. Valley Catholic, the 2012 and 2013 winner of the Oregonian Cup, Oregon's top 3A school in academics, activities, athletics, and sportsmanship. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Educational excellence that honors the unique gifts of each student. That's Valiant.
We are back here at Spirit of 77. This is Portland SportsBeat. I'm Brad Stein, and of course I'm joined by PJ Miller, and we're going to give Ben Golliver a call. He's going to join us and tell us about the longevity of LaMarcus Aldridge. Is he here yet?
Yeah, Ben, are you there?
How's it going, guys?
Good. So, yeah, we Blazer season's just starting, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Blazers and kind of the outlook and how camp has started. Media Day was Monday. And, pretty much one of the big conversation was LaMarcus Aldridge. People wanted to know kind of what he was doing. And Neil O'Shea had some very poignant very poignant answers about that. Can you kind of talk about that question and kind of what your feeling is about LaMarcus's future?
Yeah, I mean, anytime a player's name's going to come up in trade rumors during the summer, there's always going to be a gap between when the rumors are happening during the off season and then when a player could actually be really traded. Most of the time, you're not going to see any sort of a trade from basically October until February at the trade deadline. So I think what you saw on media day was really an acknowledgement of the fact that, Aldridge isn't going anywhere for the time being. I mean, he's definitely locked into, at minimum, the first half of the season. And I think, Blazers GM Neil O'Shea came out really strong, and he wanted people to know that, LaMarcus is here. And at the same time, LaMarcus made it clear that not only is he here in Portland, but he's feeling happy with the moves that were made over the offseason. And he's, willing to give this team a shot. And that's definitely a different message than what he gave us at the end of last season. When you looked at last season, he was very frustrated. And he was very upset, and he just, wasn't in a very good place after missing the playoffs for 2 straight years. So I think, they were able to make some veteran additions, guys like Mo Williams, Jarrell Wright. They got a center in Robin Lopez who can, hold down the middle for them a little bit and provide a little bit of protection to LaMarcus. So I think he's looking at it with a fairly optimistic tone. And I think, Neil was really trying to, kind of try to change the subject, get people not talking about the trade rumors and get them more focused on and excited about the upcoming season. Now, the way his comments were delivered, I'm not sure if he really succeeded in doing that, because it seems like all anybody wants to talk about is sort of his emotional reaction, but that's where we are.
All right, so just a quick update. Mo Williams hurt his ankle. Is there any updates on his condition or how long he's going to be out?
I mean, everything they said after day one was that it's not serious. I mean, a lot of times you see veterans go down with, injuries early in camp. I think that's sort of an annual right, and I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Okay. So the center position, Robin Lopez coming in, and, you got the young guy back behind him. What is the rotation going to look like? Is LaMarcus still going to be playing some 5, or what should fans be expecting with that rotation?
Yeah, definitely. Well, Robin Lopez has never really played big-time minutes in his NBA career. He started and he played every game last year, but, his minutes were in the mid-20s. I mean, this is not a center who's going to give you 33, 34 minutes a night. So what that's going to do is it's really going to allow the Blazers to play at least 4 big men, I think. It's going to be Lopez and Aldridge obviously starting games. They are going to be able to move Aldridge into a center position, surround him with 3 or 4 shooters. But it's also going to create some minutes potentially for either a Myers Leonard to back up Lopez and develop a little bit, and also give an opportunity to a guy like Thomas Robinson who's really itching to kind of show what he can do. And the Blazers are really hyping him up. I think you're hearing a lot from Neil O'Shea. Really ever since Summer League and when they made that move with Houston to get Robinson, is really trying to instill confidence in him and use his athleticism however they can and his rebounding ability, whenever they can. So I think you're really going to see 4 big men play meaningful minutes. And then otherwise it's going to be a lot of shooters. And I think one thing that Terry Stotts is really talking about is his ability to go small ball. Also, the versatility to be able to go big if they need to. They can, shift potentially Nicholas Batum all the way down to a 2-guard position, or in some lineups he could be a 4. You could probably say the same thing about a Jarrell Wright. Obviously, those guys are most likely going to play 3, but they are able to mix and match quite a bit. It's going to be helpful, too, if there are injuries. I mean, you've got a lot of guys who can play multiple positions. They can play with the ball, without the ball. So I think what you're going to really see, like I said, 4 big men playing, and then a lot of versatile lineup combinations around the starting core, important players that were there last year in Aldridge, Lillard, Batum, and Matthews.
So how does the guard rotation look like?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the same starters from last year, no question about it. I mean, Lillard and Matthews, you can just pencil those guys in. I think at this point they're going to look at potentially a 3-guard rotation with Mo Williams sort of being the place where they start from. And then it's going to be up to C.J. McCollum to earn himself some minutes. C.J. is not going to play any time at the 1. He's just not ready. He's not a natural point guard. He showed it during Summer League. He really struggled. This is a guy who's going to go out and get his own points, score for himself mostly. He's not really a distributor or a playmaker for his teammates. He's a guy who can go out there and fill it up pretty quickly, and he should be able to do that pretty nicely, even in a small-minute role. He's the kind of guy you can just throw out there and say, hey, we're kind of slumping right now offensively. Give us a kickstart. That's his type of game. So you're going to start with a 3-man rotation between Lillard, Matthews, and Williams, and it could potentially edge up to a 4-guard rotation there with McCollum. Everybody else is going to be really fighting for scraps in the backcourt.
How much improvement are we going to see defensively from Lillard?
It's a big question. I mean, he's definitely devoted himself to basketball, which you'd love to see from young players. I mean, there's no BS with this guy. There's no distractions. He's all about the game. He's all about improving. And when he explains what he needs to work on, it's a very accurate self-assessment. He realizes he has to be more efficient. He has to be better with his shot selection. He has to improve his assist-to-turnover ratio. He's got to get better on defense. He's got to be more focused individually as a defender and within a team concept. And so all the things that you want to hear from him, he's saying. Now it's all a matter of, okay, can he go out there and do it? I mean, of course, he's a four-year college player, so you're not going to expect him to take these giant year one to year two strides that you see from some other guys. You contrast him to a guy like Anthony Davis, who had sort of a rougher rookie season. When you look at the numbers, Anthony Davis really pencils out to be a guy who's going to take a massive leap forward in year two because he's so young, and players who have played like he has at a young age have always taken, big strides as they progress, and become 20 years old, 21 years old, etc. Obviously, Lillard's, at a different point on that growth curve. So, you're probably going to see a player who looked like a lot like last year's player, but hopefully he's going to have some, refined aspects of his game that he didn't have last year.
So we're talking with Ben Golliver from Blazers Edge. Looking back at, back up in that front court, Thomas Robinson, is he going to be able to kind of fill, obviously he won't be starting at the center position, but is he going to be able to fill kind of that same role as J.J. Hickson, as kind of like the low post rebounder, scrap guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what they want him to do. He's not a very good isolation scorer, so you can't just throw the ball to him and expect him to give you anything. He's going to turn it over. He's going to miss shots. He's going to struggle against length when he's on the low block. He doesn't really have much of a range on his jumper. I mean, his offensive game at this point is basically, finishing amazing alley-oop dunks and, second chance points. And if somebody, make a defense pay if you're overcommitting to a guy like Aldridge, or if you're, playing too aggressively out on the perimeter, he can give you points that way. But, it's really not going to be, an overall offensive weapon. So like you said, I mean, similar to what J.J. Hickson did last year, but it's going to be a more natural fit because he's coming off the bench. They asked J.J. to do way too much in terms of what he was able to give. It wasn't necessarily his fault. It wasn't necessarily the starting set. I mean, it wasn't, Myers Leonard's fault. It really wasn't anyone's fault. They just didn't have the tools last year to play good defense inside and to really, ask a reasonable amount out of Hickson. And I think that is one good thing about the situation that faces Robinson is he's not going to be thrown into the deep end of the pool. He's going to be able to succeed, however, as best he can.
Overall, how much better do you think Portland's going to be defensively?
We'll see. I mean, if you look at their rotation, their additions, Mo Williams, Darrell Wright, C.J. McCollum, Thomas Robinson, all those guys are offensive first players. So that's a big question mark to me, is how much better are they actually going to be defensively. The starters weren't terrible on defense last year with the exception of Hickson. He was pretty bad because he was, as I said, being asked to do too much. Lopez should be a big upgrade defensively, but again, he's not going to play massive minutes. He's not going to play 30 minutes a night, so it's not going to have the kind of impact people might be hoping for. Defense is definitely a question mark. I think what Terry Stotts is really trying to do with his defense is see gradual improvement or marginal improvement. Last year they were down in the 20s, 23, 24, 25 in terms of defensive efficiency. I think he's looking at it if they can get into that 15, 16, 17 range where they're average or just slightly below average, he's going to be okay with that because he knows he's going to have an offense that's going to potentially be a top 10 offense in the NBA. So, to me, I think they're probably still going to struggle on that end, pretty significantly. I think they're going to get into a lot of shootouts, but I think they're going to be okay with that because they've got so many three-point shooters and so many weapons, and they've got two guys who are sort of all-star caliber players in Aldridge and Lillard who are going to be able to give you production on a night-to-night basis.
When you look at their defense and Robin Lopez, last year the Blazers struggled a lot with their pick-and-roll defense. Lopez has shown that he is pretty good at the pick-and-roll defense, but he's more of a guy who kind of lays off and takes the drive as opposed to a hedge. Are the Blazers, because last year I think that they were more of a hedge team, are they going to kind of change their defensive ways to suit what Lopez does better, or are they going to try to make Lopez fit into what they were doing last year?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can try to ask Robin Lopez to go out and guard players on the perimeter, and you can watch him fail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to happen. He's slow. He doesn't have great lateral quickness. He's a big guy. And just like you wouldn't ask his brother to do that, you're not going to ask him to do that. I mean, you're going to try to keep him within probably one step of the paint at all times. And so that's definitely going to affect your pick-and-roll coverages, and they've said as much. Terry Stotts came out really right from day one at media day and basically said, hey, we're switching this up. We're going to try to protect the rim a lot better. We still want to defend the three-point line, but essentially they're going to be seeding that mid-range jumper in the long twos, and they're going to be kind of encouraging teams to take that. I mean, that's best practices around the NBA. It's not really rocket science. That's how the best defenses generally play, especially if they have traditional centers. You only see teams really do the jumping and all that hedging stuff if they don't have a real center. And even a guy like Myers Leonard is actually able to do that, and he says he doesn't mind doing some of the aggressive stuff out there on the perimeter, but he's just not technically gifted enough at this point or experienced enough to be able to make that sort of a functional reality on the defensive end. So, yeah, you're definitely going to see a more basket-oriented team defense. But really the question becomes, are they going to make the right rotation? Are they going to be helping the helper? Are they going to be sacrificing for their teammates? Because a lot of the breakdowns last year wasn't all Hickson. It was just effort plays. Guys, willing to give an average amount of effort, but as soon as there was a breakdown, they just gave up. They've really got to clean a lot of that stuff up.
All right, Ben, we thank you very much for coming on. I'm sure as this Blazer season continues, we'll have you on again. Thanks again for coming on.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right,
Take
talk
care.
to you later. All right.
Ben Golliver.
Ben Golliver. Lots of great information from Ben. Yeah. This Blazer season is going to be an interesting one with kind of how their season ended last year. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's got 2 years left on his contract. All the confusion about whether they want to stay or go, and all the moves that Neil O'Shea.
Not confusion. He just wants to be in the postseason.
Yeah,
that's all. He
And
wants a competitive team. And
yeah.
look, Neil O'Shea did everything he could with what he was given to try to make this a competitive team and to get into the postseason.
Yeah,
Done everything he could.
yeah, and
you're not going to get a big guy like Carmelo Anthony or LeBron. You're not going to get one of those big names.
Yeah, and I think that the thing that he has done the best is that he's maintained flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So they have guys that that at 2 years, when LaMarcus Aldridge come out, most
Money
of these
freed
players will be off the books except for these rookies and these second-year guys.
Yeah.
So if they want to make a move, if LaMarcus moves on, they'll have some free agent money to be able to go out and do something.
And they don't have one bad contract either.
Yeah. So
really good
I think that they got a lot of bright side. So let's take a quick break here. We're down at Spirit of 77. Just got done talking Blazers. Here they celebrate Blazers. We got the Tampa Bay game on. Looks like it's still 4-0 right now. So we'll take a break here, and we'll be back at Spirit of 77 here on Portland SportsBeat Extra.
That looks good right there. Why do I like working on SportsBeat? Because most of the high school athletes we work with don't have quite the ego that some of the professional athletes have.
Keon, thanks for coming on SportsBeat.
Yeah, thanks. I'm humbled to be here.
And cut. Hey, good luck to you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Kenyon, here are your blue M&Ms.
I said Jesuit colors only. Green. Get that Laker blue crap out of here. And it's Keon.
Celebrating 50 years of exceptional health care, Maryville provides skilled nursing care, inpatient rehabilitation, and memory care. We provide a warm living environment and stimulating social activities for our residents. Learn more at maryvillenh.org. At Maryville, your family is our family. Maryville, celebrating its 50th anniversary of service with love. Valley Catholic High School will host its 2013 open house on Sunday, October 13th from 1 to 4. Valley Catholic, the 2012 and 2013 winner of the Oregonian Cup, Oregon's top 3A school in academics, activities, athletics, and sportsmanship. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Educational excellence that honors the unique gifts of each student. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic High School will host its 2013 open house on Sunday, October 13th from 1 to 4. Valley Catholic, the 2012 and 2013 winner of the Oregonian Cup, Oregon's top 3A school in academics, activities, athletics, and sportsmanship. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Educational excellence that honors the unique gifts of each student. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides loving care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It also offers after-school care for children through 5th grade. At Valley Catholic Early Learning School, we believe that children learn best by doing. We focus on the child's total development. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Learning that meets the unique needs of each child. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic, home to exceptional academic programs, serving students in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, award-winning faculty, championship athletics, a renowned music school, drama and art, faith-based education on a beautiful 43-acre campus in the heart of Beaverton. Learn more at valleycatholic.org. Academics, arts, athletics, excellence. Valley Catholic.
Welcome back to Spirit of 77. I'm Brad Stein, joined by PJ Miller. We just had Ben Gulliver on the call talking some Blazers. This is Portland SportsBeat Extra. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Got a little Spirit 77 shirt right here.
Yeah. They got some great food, some great beer. They got the Hopworks Urban Brewery. They have an organic lager.
Ooh.
It's they got a lot of the Fort George Brewing.
Interesting.
They have a Belgian, a pale ale, an Indian pale, a hard cider from Rev's Nats.
Tell me about that food. You were saying that they had fingers.
they had some really good food here. They have the Meatball Hero. They also have the po' boy. You remember when you were in school and they had the po' boy and he had your tray and you had to go through the lunch line and you had the po' boy?
Yeah.
That was always one of the days that I wanted to come in.
I wasn't allowed to eat that kind of stuff, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Were you gluten-free back
No,
then?
no. I just my mom didn't let me eat anything exciting.
Oh.
She tortured me.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's easier now that I'm gluten-free that I eat crap all day because I'm used to it.
So if you want to catch us, PortlandSportsBeat.com. You can find us there. You can find us on Twitter at PDXSportsBeat. You can hit us with the Twitter at any time. We always answer questions. Brad, what's your Twitter handle?
At Brads56.
And I am at PJMiller16. So you can ask us questions, talk about things that you want to find out about.
Or make fun of us.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
We also do a show Wednesday nights. We cover high school sports in the Portland metro area. We also do live games on Friday nights where we'll be out Wilson. Has a game out in Hood River, I believe, this week.
Yeah.
We'll have that game called. And then we're also doing a couple of games up in Vancouver. So if you want to listen to some high school football, some live high school football games, PortlandSportsBeat.com. Yeah.
You got it.
So lots going on the website. So,
a lot going on the website, a lot going on right here. We got the 2-minute drill. We're doing it chipster style. You know what that means, right?
Very quick.
Pace. That's right, very quick. It's all about the amount of plays. It's about the yardage. Doesn't matter the final score. Doesn't matter if you win in the NFL. It's all about the tempo. So here we go. We have New Orleans at Chicago, our first big game.
New Orleans, easy. He's playing. Drew Brees is so
hot.
He
looks good.
Him and Peyton Manning, they're right there.
Phillip Rivers looks pretty good too.
Yeah, he does. So I'm going to say New Orleans, Chicago coming off their first defeat.
Okay,
so.
I'm taking Chicago. Saints outside. It's only their second road game. They almost lost to Tampa Bay on the road. Cutler's not going to have another dud like that. I'm taking Chicago. Let's go Detroit at the Green Bay Packers.
Detroit. I'll go Green Bay. Detroit looked good last week, but I'm going to go with Green Bay. I think they're finally establishing a running game. They found the rookie, so
and they're coming off a bye.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Green Bay.
I agree. Coming off a bye, Detroit's coming off a big division game against the Bears. There'll be a letdown right there. Seattle at Indianapolis. Another tough game for the Seahawks. They've been battle tested
and on the road.
They've
had to play these tough
these are
road
huge.
games.
That's why that game against Houston was so big. They proved they could beat a good team on the road.
Yeah, and I think that Indy is, they're right up there with Houston. I don't think that they quite have the same firepower that Houston has, but they're a very good team, and I think it's going to be another test. I'm going to go with Indy on this one. I think Seattle's kind of played it, very close the last two road games, and I think that this is finally going to be one where it's going to come back and bite them.
I totally agree. Another road game, 10 a.m. It's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific that the Seahawks are playing. So I like Indianapolis Colts at home. That takes us to San Francisco, where they host the Houston Texans.
I'll go San Francisco. Yeah, they've struggled.
You don't want to take Matt Schaub?
No, I don't want to take it.
Disappointed
because he's going to throw another pick six, I'm guessing.
I think so. That'll be, 4 games in a row?
Yes. I'm going to go with San Francisco. I think that they're bouncing back. They had that tough defeat in Seattle.
And they got to travel out west, too.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with San Francisco on that one.
I agree. Philly at New York Giants. This is the battle of toilet scum.
Yeah. The NFC East is horrible.
And I told you it was going to be the worst division. I was right about that.
And so
I wasn't right about a lot of things, but I was right about that.
I'm going to go with Philly here. I just think the Giants' offense is so anemic that they're not going to be able to score.
I don't blame you.
Philly, they're not great, but they can score. and I think they're going to be able to score on that Giants defense, and I don't think that right now the Giants are going to be able to score.
All right, New York has to eventually win, so I'm predicting it at home this time because Antro Roll said the Giants are going to win the next 12 games in a row, and they're going to go 12 more. They said you better not disrespect Tom Coughlin. That was Justin Tucker. He's going to punch you in your mouth. So I will take the New York Football Giants. I don't think that was really quick tempo, quick pace. I think we're more of a huddle-up team.
Yeah.
That's okay. We grind it out. We grind it out.
We're not quite Peyton Manning yet.
No, we're not Peyton Manning. We grind it out.
We're not audibles.
We're Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
We're more Seahawks. We're going to run the ball. We'll play good defense. That's what we'll do. All right, there is no Judge Stein today, unfortunately. I know the judge is gone. He's not here today. Very upset about that. Perry Winkle.
Yeah, Perry didn't show up. So.
All right, he deserves a punch in the mouth from Justin.
I'm gonna go ahead and call him out that he didn't show up.
He didn't. He
and
stinks.
Perry, I know you're gonna watch this, so
you stink.
Yeah. You better be here 2 weeks.
Yeah. So that brings us to college football. We have the Oregon Ducks, undefeated. They just got another first-place vote. Do they deserve first-place votes right now? Because I don't think they do, because they haven't played anybody. I know you play who's on your schedule, and they look very impressive. They're destroying teams, but they haven't played anyone. Alabama beat Texas A&M. That's a respectable team. Who are the Ducks beating?
They haven't beaten anybody, but all you can do is go by how they've played.
Right.
And if you only judge by the teams that they played, you could make a case for Georgia.
Georgia's great
because they have one loss, but they played
right
3 top 10 teams.
Yes, they have.
So
beat 2 of them.
Yeah. So they've had the most impressive schedule out of anybody and have 2 victories out of that. So if you're going to argue that way, then I would say you could argue that Georgia. I just think the Ducks look so good. They look so fast right now.
They do. They look great. So if you're going by that and credibility from last year, then yes, they deserve first place votes. But if you look at who they played, Clemson should be number 2. They beat Georgia.
Yeah. And
right?
Yep.
Even though it was at home, they still beat Georgia.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a game.
And I think you're going to learn a lot about Clemson in that last week when they had to play South Carolina again.
Right.
They have to play South Carolina, another SEC.
And they had to play Florida State, who's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think that there's I think this is going to be one of those seasons where hopefully things are going to kind of get washed out here at the end. You're still going to have, you could have a Clemson and you could have a Ohio State. But I think that if Alabama and Oregon go undefeated, that those will be the 2 teams.
Absolutely.
That'll be
it doesn't really matter exactly what we talk about right now. As long as the Ducks go undefeated, if they beat Washington, UCLA, and Stanford, that's a big game at Palo Alto, they will be representing in the national championship game against Alabama if they go undefeated.
And that's the thing that Oregon, when you look at it,
I feel bad for Clemson if they go undefeated. That's why we need this 4-team playoff system already.
When Oregon, 3-4 years ago, when they didn't have the credibility that they had now,
right,
and they had good season. Yeah, so when they had a good season, they were in the top 10. Now they're having a good start to the season in their top 2. So I think that they've kind of earned this, kind of like how the SEC has done. When you have 5 teams in the top 10 to start the year because they've earned that right. Oregon is starting to get in that conversation where every year, just like USC was, last year USC started out as number 1. They ended up out of the poll by the end of the year, but they did a good job of just kind of maintaining that consistency through year after year after year, where you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and now they're starting to reap those rewards.
What about Stanford? If they run the tables, they go undefeated. Do they play, or does someone like Clemson?
No, I think if the winner of the Pac-12 is undefeated,
really,
then they will go.
So if Clemson goes undefeated, beating Georgia, all these good teams, they're going to get screwed.
Yeah, because you look at Stanford, they're going to have played Notre Dame, and they're going to play Oregon, which would be in number 2,
and Washington,
and Washington, and UCLA.
I agree, but I feel bad for Clemson if they're undefeated. If that's the case, that's why
that happens every year. You look at Boise State, and
but Boise State doesn't have the credibility that Clemson or an SEC school has.
Yeah,
so it just is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, DeAnthony Thomas, he sprained an ankle, rolled an ankle. I hope he doesn't play, and it looks like it's been reported that he will not play.
Yeah, it's
better. Be a terrible decision.
They don't need to have him in Colorado
against Colorado.
Yeah. Let him rest. The only reason you would play him, I would think, at this
point.
No, I would say is because if you want to try to bolster some sort of Heisman award.
We don't want to do
like
that. We're all about the national championship.
Yeah, Oregon's not about that. They've never been about that. They've never been about highlighting a player or picking someone up since.
Well, they didn't hire Joey Harrington
since the Chip Kelly era started.
Okay. Yep.
Obviously when Harrington was there, obviously the billboard in Times Square. But if it comes down to the last couple of weeks, and you got someone who's in the Heisman Trophy race, I think that they may do a little bit more publicity. But I don't think you're going to see it out on the field where they're going to like, okay, Darren, we're gonna, DeAnthony Thomas, we're gonna let you run 35 times just to get you a Heisman Trophy.
It's 100% unnecessary with Marshall, Tyner, Addison. Yeah. Addison, 2 TD, 2 punt returns for a touchdown. Yeah. Guy's ridiculous.
So many weapons.
You don't need him. There's so many weapons. Let's get more experience. I want to see Tyner play more. I want to see him develop his game. I like what I'm seeing so far. Yeah. He's explosive.
He's very, very quick. Oof. And he's a bigger back, so he's going to be able to run over guys. Yeah. So I think that he's going to be a very dynamic back. And it's great to see him as a freshman. And you can start to see that development. How first game he didn't get a lot of playing time. He scored a touchdown on his first run, but how he's getting more time. And I think that you talk about this a weapon. Guys. Yeah, he's going to be a weapon. Come the last quarter of the season that a lot of people aren't going to have a lot of film on. They're not going to know about. He's going to be fresh because he's not going to be taking the beating that's what Bobby Bowden used to do at Florida State University. He would always rest the starters, starting quarterbacks, running backs. He would put his freshmen in, and by the time they were sophomores, these guys were pros. Yep. I love that philosophy. Depth is a good thing that Oregon has started to develop. That you get a guy when DeAnthony Thomas goes down, they have Addison who can step in and have 2 punt returns for a touchdown. Right. So depth is the thing that USC really lacked last year, and definitely this year they have no depth, and that's why they get past their starters and they got nothing left. Where Oregon, they can run their defensive line where they can run 2 deep at every position and just shuffle those guys in. So the next year, those guys all have experience, and you're not having to replenish your whole line, and no one has any experience. So depth has been very key for Oregon. So getting back to the Heisman Trophy, is Mariota a serious Heisman contender? Oh, yeah, right now he is. If you are the quarterback on the undefeated national champion, you're going to be. If you're in the top 5 and you're a quarterback, you're going to be in that conversation. He needs a signature win. As long as they go undefeated, he's going to have the stats. They have the undefeated season. He will probably be the Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, if they go undefeated. If Alabama goes undefeated, you have McCarron. McCarron's good, but that's more like, look what he's done the last several years. All those champions, you're kind of rewarding him. Yeah. So it's kind of that reward system. But Mariota is much flashier, is much better statistics. The only thing that's going to be hurting him is that they're blowing teams out by so much. And he's out in the beginning of the third quarter, I know. Yeah. I think I heard a stat that he's only played in 4 games where he's completed the first quarter. And look how I think but voters will be smart and they'll see it. He hasn't thrown an interception. That counts for a lot. If you go undefeated, you're going to play for the national title, then you deserve this recognition. And Mariota was great last year, so he's earned that credibility. But what about Manziel? He's still got to be up there. Yeah, just stat-wise. Right now, he's number 1. That's what people are voting him right now. But I think that they're going to end up with a couple of losses. Yeah. I mean, although he did win it last year with 2 losses, but he also beat Alabama, right? Which was the turning point. And he beat out a linebacker named Manti Te'o. Yeah, that was probably his number 1 competition. Yeah, I don't even think that he was the best defensive player last year. He wasn't. So. Yeah, I like the linebacker from Georgia, Moss. Yeah. All right, is there a tight end controversy? Colt Lyerla, he's been the missing link in the offense. He only has 2 receptions for 26 yards. Is he the missing link? I don't think he's a missing link. They have depth there at tight end, and they're going to run a lot of two tight end sets, and they're going to put Lyerla in the backfield. If they get down, one of the problems that Oregon has always had is in the red zone. They do a good job from 20 to 20, and if they can get into the red zone and they can give him the ball, he's very fast. He played running back at Aloha, and that's another weapon they can put in the backfield. Plus, he can block. I agree. So I love what they're doing. I don't think they're doing this against Lyerla. This is like a great surprise. He hasn't been used, so we don't know how all the formations are going to look like once he gets back in. So when you play Washington, UCLA, this could be a big surprise. Then we're going to see Lyerla in the backfield. Then we'll see him spread out, H-back. Wide receiver. You can do so many things with this guy. So I'm happy that Oregon Helfrich isn't showing all his hands because you don't need to. It's unnecessary right now. Yep. Just how it is. Oregon State, we're going to go to the Oregon State Beavers. I was down there in Corvallis. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. It was rainy. It was wet. But did you talk to Mr. Hushmanzada while you were there? I did. I interviewed TJ Hushmanzada, not Who's Your Mama. He's a great guy. He's very good. When you think about the wide receiver core that they had with him and Chad Johnson. That was obviously probably in the state of Oregon. That was the best duo that's ever been. Yeah, and look how successful they were in the NFL. They transitioned. Yep. So. Yeah, he was a good guy. He was a good interview, good times. And he's not crazy like Chad Johnson. No, but he was talking about him a lot. They're really good friends. Every story he kept talking about Chad, but he's pretty crazy too. He told me he's the best at Madden football. Nobody can beat him. Hushmanzada. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Take
you
pride
can
in
find
that.
him and challenge him.
Yeah, maybe you can find him and challenge him. All right, so who wins? They're at Washington State. Washington State's pretty good. I believe they're 3-2. Facing the Beavers. They're home this time. I'm going to take Oregon State just because Washington State lost their last 2 games, or the only 2 games against good teams.
Yeah.
And that was against Stanford and Auburn. I like the way Oregon State's played. They played well. They've won 4 games in a row since they lost to Eastern Washington.
You know, you saw some signs of life from their defense last week, which was a big key.
They
you know, they need to. You know, they're probably going to get Woods back this week, so hopefully that will shore up their running game a little bit.
And Mannion's just in lights out. He's really looked like a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Huh?
It's not this Saturday. They have a bye this
they
Saturday.
have a bye. It's the following week.
Yeah, it's the following week. So, you know, they're going to have Wood. They should have Woods back, and you know they're going to get a little bit healthier.
Offensive line too.
They're going to get healthier.
Line's going to be healthier.
Yeah. So I think that if their defense continue to progress, and I think he's a very good coach when he has time. So I think 2 weeks, they're going to be able to game plan for Washington State. They're going to have lots of film to go over and, get these guys some rest. And I think that, Mannion, hopefully he just doesn't cool off during this break because he's the one who's really carrying that team right now. And so I think that they're going to come out on top. Washington State, they beat USC, but, who in the Pac-12 probably isn't going to be USC
Exactly.
this year.
Washington State, I'm not buying the hype yet. They're improved. But I don't think they'll beat Oregon State. I think the Beavers will be fine. I love how that offensive line is going to get healthier. Woods comes back. It should be pretty good in Corvallis. Should Mannion be considered right now for a Heisman Trophy winner? Because if you just look at stats alone, and this is the best player, if you just look at stats alone, should Sean Mannion be considered?
Yeah, if you look at stats alone. And if they continue to win over the next 2 weeks and they do what he's been doing,
get more votes.
Yeah, he'll be getting. I think that when you were talking about Manziel and he was first, he had some votes in there. There were 5 Pac-12 players that were in there.
Five.
Yeah. So
along with Washington's running back Stuckey.
Yeah. So I think that there's going to be some more support for him if they can continue to win. If they lose another game, he's done.
Well,
he needs to. It's not really serious until they play Stanford, Oregon,
exactly.
UCLA,
He needs
Washington.
to win those big games.
Yeah.
It's all about how he performs in the big games. But if they finish with a respectable record, like 2 or 3 losses, and you look at other people's stats and they're really not that good, Oregon has a loss, Alabama has a loss, Sean Mannion could be the choice, right?
Yeah. So what do you think?
He's carried that team in those games. Even against Eastern Washington when they lost, he carried that team. He was great.
Do you think he comes back next year?
Yeah. He still needs to fill out a little bit. I think he comes back. He's a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, right?
Who do you think has a better NFL career, him or Mariota?
Mariota, because of his athleticism.
Yeah.
You?
With the way that the NFL is going, yes. Things kind of changed this year. You can tell a lot of those, like Kaepernick, even
Plus,
Russell.
Mariota's done it for 2 years. Sean Mannion, he was shaky. He was off and on his
he was
year.
injured. He was injured last year, so and I think he could prove a lot.
But
if he
Mariota
comes back
came in as a freshman
and played
he
very
just
well.
lit it on fire. Yeah. I love the way he throws the ball, and he hasn't even been accurate this year, but still no interceptions, and that's the main thing right now. All right, so we got one other topic here in college football. Again, we're live at Spirit of 77. This is Portland SportsBeat Extra. I'm Brad Stein. That is PJ Miller. Lane Kiffin was fired. Are you surprised? We had a huge topic about it 2 weeks ago. I said it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we both said it was going to happen within a couple of weeks. So,
it had to.
He is
deserving.
Yeah, what I called him the douchebag. I mean,
I call him the donkey boy.
Yeah, he's just an idiot.
He really is.
And when they pulled him off, it's like 3 a.m. when they pull him off the bus or when he's at the airport.
Do you
they pull
feel bad
him off.
for him? A little
I don't
remorse?
feel no.
No?
I have no.
He's still a human being, though.
He is, but that's the way. That's the way that he's always conducted himself, is in that manner.
You're right.
So I think that life is about the way that you treat other people and the way that you deal with situations.
True.
That all comes back to get you.
I don't feel bad for him because you're right. He treated other people poorly.
And he makes millions of
I think
dollars.
that was the other thing. You got it. You read my mind. Good minds think alike.
Do you think he gets another shot somewhere else?
In college, not in the pros. A small school. Smaller school.
He can
kind
recruit
of like
that. He can recruit.
He can recruit. Exactly. Like a Boise State type. A Boise, maybe even smaller than Boise State. I don't see him at any big school. No SEC, no Pac-12. That's it.
Do you see him coming back as maybe an assistant coach at a big school?
That can happen.
Where he can go and recruit.
That can happen. Sure. Would you take a gamble on him if you were like a Georgia or Alabama? You lost a couple of coaches.
He's just not a good coach. He's a great recruiter. He's just not. He's not a good head coach.
He can't make halftime adjustments. I'm not shocked about it. So we have a bunch of names being reported: Del Rio, Chris Peterson, Kevin Sumlin. I like that name. And Sarkisian from Washington, of course, our Oregon State, Mike Riley.
Yeah.
Who do you like? Front runner.
Of those, I would someone
Doesn't
would be
even
the
have
best.
someone?
Someone would
Yeah,
be the
I
best.
agree.
You know, I've heard
For
some people
college.
talk about Gruden. Gruden would be another great.
That's funny. That's one of my guys. Write him down
yeah.
here right now.
Yeah, John
who,
Gruden.
who said Gruden? I didn't hear anyone. That was because whenever there's rumors, usually Gruden's thrown around, whether it's
Yes.
NFL or college. I
Yeah.
remember he was thrown up with the Notre Dame job.
and Tennessee.
And Tennessee, right?
Yeah, so he's been courted. You know, he's got such
It's perfect though. He's
Oh, yeah.
perfect for he's totally an NFL guy. I don't see it happening. He's not going to leave the NFL. First thing, he has the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Is that the best job in the world?
Oh,
Being an
yeah.
analyst, sitting there telling how good these quarterbacks are, and I love this one, praising that one. He's
Doing
not going anywhere.
commercials for Corona.
He's making what, $1.5 million a game?
Yeah.
Why would you leave if you're
Yeah.
John Gruden? He's not going
pressure,
anywhere.
yeah.
But recruiting-wise, mothers would love him.
Oh, yeah.
Fathers would think he's cool as crap.
Yeah,
They want to
wanna
drink
be
a
him.
beer with him.
Yeah.
Want to be him. Kids are going to like him.
Yeah.
And he's a great coach.
And the thing that he always struggled with at the NFL is that he got burned out. Like he burned
did.
out
He
with his
did.
players. And, you know, players would be like, hey, I don't really want to play for you anymore. They would kind of give up on him. College is different because you're turning kids over every 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're not gonna
But-
kids aren't gonna burn out.
But he has something to prove in the NFL. He won with Tony Dungy's squad.
Yep.
He wants to win in the National Football League with his own squad. Can you see him with like the New York Giants if Tom Coughlin decides to hang it
No,
up?
I think he would be foolish to go back to a team like that because just the pressure of what he's doing right now. He needs to go to a place where it's a smaller, like an Indy
Or
Cleveland or
Right.
somewhere like that, where he can, like, you know, you talk about building a team, where he can build a team and take something.
But he could take the pressure. That's what I like. I think he could take the pressure.
But why would
Just
you
like
put
others.
yourself in that situation?
Some people want to prove they can win in the Big Apple. Why did
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin take the job? Won 2 Super Bowls. It's a great organization, the Giants. You go to Pittsburgh, it's a great organization. If that job's open, you got to consider that.
But
Texas is a great job. Maybe
Yes.
he wants to go to Texas.
Yeah, and I think those would be a great places because the pressure is not there.
Yeah, he's such an NFL guy.
Yeah,
though.
I just don't see why you would want to take the pressure of what he's doing now and go to a big school.
Well, these guys think differently. They're very competitive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave the booth.
No.
I love it. I think it's the best job. You're making
Yeah.
tons of money, and you're not
Yeah.
going to go gray
Yeah.
anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
What about the chipster? I thought about him. I know I just heard it come up, but I brought it up in my podcast Monday. I just said his name, it should be floating around. USC, I guarantee, could and should give him a call. I don't think that the chipster is going to want to go there
No.
because he's going to prove he's an NFL guy. He really wants to make this work. He's going to give it at least 3 years.
Yeah.
He's not going to quit because he would lose so much credibility. He would never be able to get his butt back to the NFL if he did that.
No, it'd be kind of like how Saban did.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly
I
what Saban did.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, I
can't
think
see
that he is. Yeah,
Because
I don't
Saban
think there's-
regrets that.
Oh yeah, that was a horrible decision.
Horrible decision.
I was hearing somebody talk.
Look how many
Well,
championships
yes,
he won with
yeah.
Alabama.
Talk about the decision. Remember when Drew Brees was a free agent and he had the chance to go to Miami,
Miami.
and he didn't.
Well,
Imagine if he would have.
well, Miami chose Dante
Yeah,
Culpepper
because
over
of
him.
his,
the shoulder.
the shoulder.
But Culpepper had the knee, and he was never the same. Stupidest decision.
Imagine how college football in the NFL would have been different. Saban probably stays
Oh yeah,
because
my
he's
God,
there,
yeah.
and Saban's not at
And
Alabama, and so
opens
how does
it up for a lot of teams.
Yeah,
Maybe Oregon plays for the national championship
Yeah.
last year.
yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. You bring
Yeah.
that up.
yeah.
So. All right, I guess we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. We're at live at Spirit 77. This is Portland SportsBeat Extra.
Valley Catholic
And
Early
we
Learning
have
School
a funny
provides
topic, but we're
loving
gone.
care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and fifth grade. At Valley Catholic Early Learning School, we believe that children learn best by doing. We focus on the child's total development. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Learning that meets the unique needs of each child. That's Valiant. Valley Catholic, home to exceptional academic programs, serving students in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, award-winning faculty, championship athletics, a renowned music school, drama and art, faith-based education on a beautiful 43-acre campus in the heart of Beaverton. Learn more at valleycatholic.org. Academics, arts, athletics, excellence. Valley Catholic. Celebrating.
That looks good right there. Why do I like working on SportsBeat? Because most of the high school athletes we work with don't have quite the ego that some of the professional athletes have.
Keon, thanks for coming on SportsBeat.
Yeah, thanks. I'm humbled to be here.
And cut. Hey, good luck to you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Kenyon, here are your blue M&Ms.
I said Jesuit colors only. Green. Get that Laker blue crap out of here. And it's Keon.
Valley Catholic High School will host its 2013 open house on Sunday, October 13th from 1 to 4. Valley Catholic, the 2012 and 2013 winner of the Oregonian Cup, Oregon's top 3A school in academics, activities, athletics, and sportsmanship. Learn more about us at valleycatholic.org. Educational excellence that honors the unique gifts of each student. That's Valiant.
All right, we are back here. Spirit of 76.
77.
77, yeah. Why did I say
When the Portland
76?
Trailblazers won.
Yes. Portland Trail Blazers
76.
championship year.
Okay.
I was thinking the gas station, 76.
77.
Yeah. All right, so we got Sean here. We're kind of wrapping up the show here, and we like to do a little off topic. We like to just talk about something random.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, so we were talking about we like to talk about girls. And so we're talking, what is the weirdest pickup line that you've given to a girl?
I don't know. My classic is nice shoes want to fuck. Can I say that?
Did it work? Yeah, you could say. Did it work?
No, it rarely works. Crude humor is
So you're just
I'm a girl,
that's
I
what I
guess.
do. You're straightforward then. You don't give a crap. You'll say whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah? It works sometimes.
It works rarely.
Okay, and when it does work, because it
When it
has
does
worked.
work, it's quite a
okay.
classy lady.
So when it works, she's not classy? What does she usually look like?
She's got to be adventuresome.
So when you use that, is it like, are you drunk or is that like your sober line?
Oh, that's definitely a drunk line.
That's the drunk line.
What's a sober line?
Can I get your screen name?
You gotta get your screen.
if I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah. Screen name. I love it.
All right. So you were watching the game out here tonight? The baseball game?
Just caught the very end of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been out here before?
A couple days ago, I'm actually in town from Baltimore. So
nice.
once the O's were out, I was
Nice. So
losing interest
Baltimore.
fast.
Okay, I'm from the East Coast too. New
Where
York,
from?
Florida.
All right.
Yeah. Same
So
thing.
this is a pretty cool bar. Did you get to shoot any hoops here?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I sucked. The guys next to me doubled my score, but
All right, I love it. East Coast attitude were great. So I know you're gonna have embarrassing moments. What's the most embarrassing thing to ever happen to you? Be honest. Give me a good story. Embarrassing. I'll tell you one, and it'll give you time to think. This is horrible. My freshman year in college. All right, I'm all excited. I have a final exam. I'm almost done with algebra. I was lactose intolerant. I had celiac disease, gluten-free. I didn't know then, so it was undiagnosed. And I got these cramps in my stomach, and there are so many pretty girls. There's about 8 girls and me, of course. And I'm like, oh, crap, I can't hold. And I'm like sitting there just holding my stomach. All of a sudden, a huge fart just came out. I mean, just really loud. It went on for about 12 seconds. And everyone I saw people's face, look. And I went, oh, crap. And I just put my head down. I'm like, oh, God, please don't look. Please don't look. And lucky no one looked at me, but it was horrible.
Was it wet?
No, it was just really loud, and it happened twice. It happened once during the exam, which was even worse. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you try to play it off like that. You move
your
around.
you move
I
your
think
chair.
I kicked my chair. Yeah, you
Yeah.
start kicking your chair, and you throw your shoulders around. You have anything good like that?
I try not to make a fool of myself, and then when I do, I try even harder to not bring it up again.
That's what alcohol's for.
Yeah. In a format that I don't even know who's watching.
Yeah.
But
Not many.
I've definitely I remember in elementary school spilling something right on my crotch and then having to walk around looking like the fool.
Everyone
who-
asked you.
Yeah.
Thought you.
Oh yeah.
Only
Yeah.
the cool
And
kids pee their pants.
And this is before Billy Madison made it cool, so it was especially embarrassing.
It was especially embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
did you try to play it off, or did you cry when people said you peed in your pants, Sean?
I tried to play it off, and I kept trying to explain. I mean, just stick to the story. You know?
Just
It's
stick to
like,
the story.
I spilled an orange juice. It's like, yeah.
What'd your
doesn't
teacher
work.
say?
Oh, I don't know. I was kind of I think she was probably just happy to see me embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was always interrupting class.
You're
so,
interrupting
yeah,
class.
yeah.
You're one. Give me an embarrassing story, PJ.
Let's see.
Sure, there's plenty.
Yeah. Okay. It was my senior year of high school. I was talking to this girl, and she was really cute. And I was dating someone at the time, but I was like, this girl's really cute. And, I like it. And she's like talking to me, and I'm just like, off in space thinking like, oh, what I'd like to do to her. And so then so she asked me a question, and she's like, what's your girlfriend's name? And I'm like, I totally forgot my girlfriend's name.
Oh, my God. That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's
I was
a
like,
bad one.
oh, yeah.
Why didn't you tell her you didn't have one?
She knew I did. That
She
was
knew
the
you did.
problem. Yeah. So, yeah, that sucks. So, yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, we got one last question for you, then we're done. You won the lottery, $45 million. What's the first thing you're doing?
Paying off my student loans.
Pay off your shit. What's the
That's
second
the
thing you do?
millennial answer. So
That's good.
After that,
What's the fun thing you would do?
Yeah.
I'm definitely buying a house on the water.
On the water.
Yeah.
Where?
In Baltimore?
No. Hawaii?
No, probably somewhere East Coast, Florida,
Okay.
Carolinas.
Okay.
Then I'd start picking them up elsewhere in the world.
Okay.
You got to start local.
Okay, and then you start hitting the chicks, right?
I'm in a very happy relationship. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, now it's going to wrap things up here at Spirit of 77. I'm Brad Stein. That's PJ Miller, and thank you to our special guest, Sean, live here from 77. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and next week we'll be at the studio, right?
Yes.
And remember, you can watch us on PortlandSportsBeat.com, also YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at PDX SportsBeat, and have a lovely, lovely day.
Night.
Best time of the year.
Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides Valley Catholic Early Learning School provides loving care and exciting learning experiences for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers.